Before we get started, just wanted to let you know that this works with any quote software out there. All right, to keep track of sales, once you've created the quote, just go ahead and click Save Quote. This is a demo, so I'm just going to skip the email, click on the customer's name or the quote name. Go ahead and make sure you get this created by date and come all the way down just to their phone number. All right, so now you can hover up to the Asana Chrome extension, paste it in, type in their name. As you can see their full name right here, and you can also see it off to the side. So you just did a quote, so first things first, they need a 24-hour follow-up. So I just scheduled it right here. I'm also going to go ahead and click onto the description and add in the link to this page just so it makes it easier when I need to come back to this section. And then I'm going to come up to this, and then I'm going to assign a different person instead of myself. I'm going to come here and put it into the sales pipeline and create task. All right, so automatically it's going to be inside of the sales pipeline, and it's going to come under here under sort leads. So any leads that you have throughout the day will come up above. When you drag it to the right section, then you'll know that you've done everything. So for example, if it's below this image, then you know you've taken care of it. If it's above the image, then you know you still have to take care of it. And this is just for this column when you're sorting the leads. So I know personally this one already is a 24-hour follow-up, so I'm just going to drag it here. But let's say, for instance, you were in an email and you were to do the same thing. All right, so for instance, for an email, once you have an email come in, let's just say you couldn't get to it at this time. You're just going to come up here, add in her name, maybe something to remind you that it's a Yelp quote, and then you can go ahead and, if you wanted to, you can copy in the items, or you can just go ahead and link the page. So I mean, this is a Yelp quote, so this is definitely important, but I linked the page right here for this, so when I'm able to come back to it later. Now I'm going to go ahead and change it back to Alex. Again, this is a different one. If I was doing it myself, then it would just leave it the same. And all right, so we have the title, the assignee, the sales pipeline, and we linked in the page, and we gave it a due date for later on today. So I could remember later on that I still need to take action on this and create task. All right, so Candy, I still need to give a quote, so I'm going to leave her up here above this section because it's going to irritate me that it's not underneath the section. So I'm going to leave it up top until I give her a quote, and then I can go ahead and put her into the 24-hour follow-up and change her due date. All right, so let's say I gave Candy a quote. I would go ahead and put her over here. I would try to go ahead and put any information I can. Yelp quotes don't necessarily have like a phone number or something, right? So you could put as much information as here, but you're also going to put another one for a follow-up tomorrow after you've given her a quote. Or you can go ahead and create a follow-up task if you wanted to and have this as the follow-up. But I think that just changing the due date for her towards tomorrow after you've given her the quote is going to be just fine. You can put any details if she's responded in here as well too. All right, so let's say, oh man, I forgot this script. Where's the script? Or what is the process of the quote process? Or what do I do on this day that's different from this day? So if you look over here, there is a template section. So there is the leads that come in that are sorted. So this is all type of leads. It could be Yelp, Home Advisor, it could be phone, text message, email, reoccurring client who's emailing for maybe another day, all leads for potential income right here. And then we have the 24, 3-day, and 7-day follow-up. So this is kind of like the pre-customer area. And then we have the templates that kind of separate them, and they have the processes for each one. So say I wanted to know more about the quotes, right? So I'm going to click on the quote follow-up calls. And this basically tells you the action steps and the process. And it also has the scripts right here. So you have the 24-hour follow-up script and the 20% off quote follow-up call as well too. And then you have the action steps. So you have the 24-hour follow-up call, 3-day follow-up call, 7-day follow-up call. And then if they book, then you need to schedule a follow-up for 1 day after their cleaning. So that is the quote process before they become and book a service with us. But then this side is the side that they go through once they book the cleaning. So once they book the cleaning, then they basically come over here into this section. So you're basically just dragging all the way across the stages. So you don't have to necessarily drag across. If you actually clicked on it, you can come over here and actually click the drop down and say, okay, so instead of having to drag, let's go ahead and move her. She booked a cleaning. I'm going to go ahead and put her into the scheduled follow-up. And then I'm going to just go ahead and add a task for me. And then I could put in any other tasks. Let's just say I wanted to reach out to the cleaner and update on specific things requested. Then you can go ahead and say, okay, so her cleaning is going to be on, let's say, the 12th. So I'm going to reach out to the cleaner, let's just say before Monday, just in case. But so her cleaning is on the 12th. So this is a follow-up. So we need to call her 1 day after the cleaning, which is going to be on the 13th. So I'm just going to change this due date. And I needed to do one other item for this client. I've already moved her to a different stage into the pipeline. It says booked cleaning and schedule follow-up. Okay, so now she's a customer and she's under here for the booked cleaning, right? Okay, so this is the follow-up and adjusting the time and soliciting reoccurring services. All right, so technically you could either put them over here or you could put them over here. This is just saying that they've booked and they're awaiting their follow-up. Okay, so let's just say I reached out to her on the 12th and she, on the 13th and she didn't answer. Then I can go ahead and put into here, left voicemail. And then you could create another subtask or change the due date again to reach back out. Or if you still haven't done it yet, you can go ahead and put her into the next phase right here, which is just more of the follow-up and adjust reoccurring time or solicit reoccurring services. So either of them can happen in either of these stages. Then you're just going to go ahead and pull her down here. Okay, so now that she's here, so say that I was following up with her on the cleaning and I'm going to do multiple different things. What do I do? Okay, so if you look under the templates, you'll see over here for first clean follow-up right here. So here is what you do on that first follow-up call, the action steps, and then you have the whole complete process. All right, so if she was unhappy, you would have the internal complaint form, Yelp review, links. And then here are the additional items that you're going to do within these phases. So basically you can go all the way up until approximately right here. So if she signed up for reoccurring service, you're not going to do these last two items. If she didn't sign up for reoccurring service, then you would go ahead and have her scheduled for a 4-week solicit reoccurring. Okay, so let's say she didn't sign up for Reoccurring Services, then you're just going to go ahead and click on this date. So you want to know as well when she had the cleaning. You just want to make sure at this time, this is only 1 day after her cleaning. So you're going to go ahead and click on it and you can go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. But that was 1 day after. So I'm just going to go ahead and maybe put 2 days before. I want to try to get it a few days before the 4-week mark because usually once it's hit 4 weeks, we don't offer that reoccurring price. Unless they have to do another full reoccurring service. So then it puts it into here, and then I can just go ahead and I know she's waiting about 4 weeks to solicit reoccurring, so I'm just drag and drop. So again, you have the option to change it right here, or you can drag and drop it as well. But this way, they've been able to come from a lead all the way to a customer, and you have all of the templates, links, all of this needed right here as well. Another option what you can do is when you have, let's say Crystal come back in here. Let's go ahead and change her back over here. All right, so she comes up here. All right, so another option for you to do is when a lead comes in here, we have the full template right here for everything needed, all the links inside. So you can go ahead and duplicate this and name it for Crystal Bella. All right, so I'm just duplicating it and then making sure I put the name. So as you see right here, you can still see their name, but I'm just going to double click and make sure the assignee and collaborators and the due date is all the same. Then I'm going to go ahead and create this. All right, so right here now, right underneath my template, I have Crystal right here. So I'm just going to click on Crystal again, copy all of this. All right, so you just copied this, exit out, click on this name, which was the new template, and just paste it in here. So now you have the information. And now you have the full process, and then if you wanted to, you can go ahead and schedule these out, or just do the same thing as we were doing and just continue to switch it. But you just need to keep in mind when you're doing the follow-ups that when it says 7 days, that you have to take into fact the created date. So take into fact the 6th would be the created date, but let's just say, you know, it was like the 8th or something. And you would really have to just pay attention. So just make sure that if you are doing this one right here, that you are having these created dates in here for the quotes, so you can go ahead and make sure that those are appropriate. And that's how you would do that one. So you can do that. And then you would just drag it from the templates into the section that you're doing. All right. So you have the 2 different ways. You can do it from here, then kind of just go this way. And then if you need help with the processes, then you can use here. But if you would like the whole entire itemized list of everything that you're supposed to do with the customer and have all the scripts listed in one, you even have the review links in here that you can go ahead and get. Either one, whatever one is going to be easiest. I do like having the created by customer date up here as well too, and then you could put any notes for the phone calls up here. The cool thing though is from here you can just go ahead and literally schedule out the whole entire customer. So once they come in here, you can go, okay, so let's say it was today, so the 24-hour follow-up would be tomorrow, 3 days. We would go, okay, so 1, 2, 3, and let's do the next business day, 7-day follow-up. You're going to come here, and then you could wait for this part to see if they book, and then otherwise you would just mark it as completed. All right, so those are the 2 options to run by. But again, for Candy, for the Yelp quote, she would just stay more mainly into hers unless she actually called us, because we don't really have her information within the pipeline. We just follow up for her. We just still want to make sure that she has those 3 different follow-ups right here as well too.